Hey you guys, how's it going? David here. It's been quite a while since I made a last video, and I don't know, I just kind of had a little bit of time on my hands and I actually had an idea for a video. So I'm kind of throwing my hat back in. Not really sure if I'm going to go ahead and continue this or is this just going to be a one-off. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, so the topic that I wanted to go ahead and bring up for today was actually Yu-Gi-Oh! So when I was growing up, like most millennials, I was just absolutely obsessed with that franchise. I watched the show religiously. I was obsessed with collecting the cards and the decks that they used to sell and everything. I loved having like my binder full of them. It was just like probably like one of the most engaging things that I ever did, especially as a kid. And I don't know, over time, like many millennials, obviously, I kind of moved away from it. And I don't know, just one day I kind of just stopped playing and moved on, started doing other things. I was also in sports and I got more into video games and, you know, all kinds of stuff. And I guess like I just kind of outgrew it. And recently, I got back into the game, specifically through Konami's official card simulator, the trading card game simulator, Master Duel. And I've kind of been playing that a lot recently, and I've been having a lot of fun with it. Just messing with the interface, playing games online with other people. And the game has changed quite a bit, and I'm still getting used to it. I am nowhere near as good as I used to be. And even back in the day, I was just kind of like one of those schoolyard Yu-Gi-Oh players. I never participated like in an official tournament or, you know, in an actual like legit game. It was always just messing around, and you know, I had 5 Pot of Greeds and stuff like that.
I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck. And I summon Pot of Greed to draw 3 additional cards from my deck.
You know, all that goofy shit that kids do. And
Okay, that just sits on the field for no reason.
It was a lot of fun. It was definitely a fun time in my life. And but yeah, like I said, I kind of got back into it and I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm probably gonna take it more seriously, like as a hobby, you know, something else that I can do to kind of spend my time on. I have a lot of hobbies right now, so this is just kind of one that I've brought back into the fold. Excuse me. Anyway, so the main reason that I had this idea for a YouTube video was because one of my all-time favorite archetypes in the entire Yu-Gi-Oh franchise was the Toon archetype. And even back in the day, it wasn't a really great strategy. Like everything was reliant on one card to maintain everything. Like you needed it to maintain your board. You needed it to maintain basically your ability to engage with the game altogether. Like if you lost Toon World, like you were fucked. And it was it was definitely a complicated and very, very risky strategy to play, but I loved the Toons. I had like 10 or 15 copies of Toon World alone. I don't even know how many Toon monsters I had. And unfortunately, as the game has progressed, it's Toons are not really a good archetype. Like they're fun for like some of the retro formats, but if you look it up, like there really haven't been like Toon decks in any real like championships and stuff like that. Definitely, I don't think anybody's won, at least not anytime recently, with a Toon deck. It's a very outdated strategy, I feel. I'm not saying you can't do it. I'm just saying that the archetype itself just does not lend itself well to competitive meta play. And my idea was basically I wanted to go ahead and change that. So I think really you only need to do, I think, 3 changes. And I'm going to go ahead and start with the actual Toon monster. So I think every single Toon monster should have a standardized effect. I don't think, like, you know, at least when it comes to the Toon effect, they can have additional effects in addition to the being a Toon. but every single Toon monster should be errated or retrained or whatever to have the same standardized effect. So the effects should be, first and foremost, the card cannot be summoned / set unless you control Toon World. So Toon World needs to be in play, and without it, you cannot use Toon monsters. You can't summon. That includes special summoning. That includes all that good stuff. And this actual summoning will be treated normally, so it's no longer considered a special summon. Like, you just need Toon World on the field, and then I can play my regular Toon monsters. And like, if I wanted to summon like Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, then I need to tribute 2 of my monsters on the field. So it's basically like regular summoning and everything. It's just everything hinges on Toon World being on the field. And while Toon World is on the field, Toon monsters cannot be destroyed by battle or by your opponent's card effects. So if there's like, this flip effect monster or whatever that's going to destroy a monster on the field, it can't affect the Toons while Toon World is on the field. If you battle into one of the Toon monsters and you defeat it in battle, like I would take the life point damage, but my Toon monster remains on the field. It does not leave the field. Now, they can be affected by regular non-destructive card effects, like if it bounces back into your hand or back into the deck. The Toon monster can be affected by those, but it just can't be destroyed. So no banish, no no graveyard. And while my opponent has a monster on the field, I have the option to tribute 500 life points of my own, and my Toon monster can go ahead and attack directly. And finally, if Toon World leaves the field for any reason, if Toon World gets bounced back into the hand or the deck, or it's just destroyed or whatever, the Toon monsters are, 1, locked in place. They cannot change positions anymore. And 2, they cannot do battle. So that locks your Toon monsters instead of just outright destroying them. So I think these effects would probably be best. I think you kind of keep the Toon logic, like, they can tank, like, they can be hurt, but they're ultimately not destroyed, kind of like, how cartoons are immortal and stuff like that, and they can hide in Toon World and avoid destructive effects. They're still vulnerable to other things, which I don't want to completely lock out opponents from being able to play the game. Like, there should be some interaction. And I just overall think that would be a good standardized set of rules for all Toon monsters going forward. And yeah, so I do think that they need to be like errated and changed and all that good stuff. And they can have other effects in addition to that. But this is just something that it's unique to all Toons. So the second change is we actually do need to change Toon World a little bit. And I would change Toon World. I would not just rely on Toon Kingdom. Toon Kingdom we'll get to in a minute. But Toon World should be changed into a field spell, and it should take the place of the field zone. So what a lot of people don't know is that in old school Yu-Gi-Oh, there could only be 1 field spell at a time. This is like the first generation of Yu-Gi-Oh. If I play a field spell and my opponent plays a field spell, then my field spell is destroyed. So that's why Toon World they did not use it as a field spell. They wanted it to be a continuous spell. So nowadays, that no longer takes effect. So you can have 2 field spells at a time. So we don't really need that protection anymore. So Toon World should be a field spell. It should not cost you 1,000 life points to play either. So it's just kind of like the engine that makes the Toons go. So we're not going to go ahead and be doing that anymore. And so the new text should read, once per turn, if this card would leave the field because of an opponent's card effect, you can pay 1,000 life points, negate that effect. So now Toon World has a built-in protection, because it is very, very important to the Toon strategy, because without it, you can't do anything. Like, originally, all your Toons would be destroyed, and even with my new errata / retrain of the Toon monsters, they're kind of locked out of the game anyway. They're just not destroyed. But Toon World now has a way to basically evade destruction / removal. So I think that's good. I think it's something that, could help protect your overall strategy, but it does carry a huge price. So you're basically giving up 1,000 life points. That's a lot. So you can only do it so many times. And I don't think everybody's going to do it every time. So I think it's something that can help you build a strategy against, and your opponent can kind of maybe turn that strategy against you, and you'll either lose life points or you end up having to give up Toon World, and all that other stuff goes down. But overall, I think this is a good retrain. It's now a field spell, and yeah, so I know you're probably thinking, like, what about Toon Kingdom? We need to be able... What's that one going to do? I'll get to that one in a second. But overall, that's kind of what my plans are for Toon World. Finally, for Toon World, this is kind of how I decided to retrain it. So let me go ahead and read this. This one's a little bit more wordy than the other ones. When this card is activated, banish 3 cards from the top of your deck face down. So that effect stays exactly the same. Toon Kingdom... Oh, before I move on even further, Toon Kingdom is now a continuous spell. So it's no longer a field spell. This is something that you're going to use to support Toon World, to support the Toon monsters, to support the overall strategy. But it's not a field spell anymore. It's a continuous spell. So again, getting back to it, when this card is activated, banish 3 cards. That's the same effect that you originally had with Toon Kingdom. And I do think that it's important to kind of build in certain prices that you have to pay when you're going to go ahead and use these strategies, because I don't want to steamroll everyone. I just want to make Toons a viable archetype / strategy that anyone can kind of use to try and actually win like a tournament or a champion, or maybe even a championship. But I don't want to just create this all-powerful deck that's just going to steamroll everyone and kind of go over everyone. Like, there needs to be a little bit of a back and forth. I do want it to be strong, but I don't want it to be just overwhelming. Anyway, so the second effect in Toon Kingdom is if an opponent's card effect would affect a Toon World you control, you can destroy this card and negate that effect. So now there's you can use Toon Kingdom to protect your Toon World. If Toon World is going to be affected and you don't want to give up your 1,000 life points, you can just destroy Toon Kingdom and send it to the graveyard, and whatever effects your Toon World was going to take are negated 100%, and you can keep it on the field. So yeah, there's that. So we do have a built-in negation, but you are giving up a powerful spell card that could probably mess up the rest of your strategy. Third effect, your opponent cannot target Toon monsters that you control with card effects. So remember how the Toon monsters are unaffected by battle? Well, now they're unaffected at all. So that makes Toon Kingdom a powerful kind of deterrent, and it's going to go ahead and, what do you call it? You know, kind of disrupt your opponent's play. So now that they're going to have to work around that or figure out a way to destroy Toon World and Toon Kingdom. And finally, once per turn, you can target one Toon monster that you control. You double its attack until the end of the turn, but it cannot attack your opponent's life directly while your opponent controls a monster. So if I choose my Blue Eyes Toon Dragon, boost him to 6,000 attack, he cannot attack my opponent directly by me using sacrificing the 500 life points. If he has a monster on the field, I have to target that monster. So overall, I think this is a good setup for the Toon Kingdom. It has a high cost where you do have to give up cards and you're losing them. They're going into the banish pile. But overall, it could be useful. I could see people using this one. This is a card that I feel like I think I would limit this to 1. Like if I were to go ahead and have this in build, if I were deck building, I would definitely do Toon Kingdom at 1 per deck. So I do think that, because it is strong and, or maybe semi-limited. Maybe you get to have 2, just in case one gets banished or something like that. But yeah, so I do think that it's powerful. It does come with that high cost because you're getting rid of cards. That could be your winning combo that you just gave up. You don't know. You just have to play the game and find out. But overall, I think that these are really fun ideas. I think that they're straightforward. I think that they can make the Toon archetype a solid strategy, one that anyone can use and, possibly even win a tournament or even a YCS. Of course, I'm not like a card designer. I'm not a game designer. Maybe these would just make Toons completely overpowered and, it would never work and they'd all end up getting banned or anything like that. But I do think that Toons do deserve more support, and I do think that they are severely limited. You know, they're not quite standardized. Some cards you have to banish a card, some you have to some have the summoning sickness, and so you can't even really use them on the turn you get them out onto your field. And with modern Yu-Gi-Oh, with so many hand traps and all of these things where they can just pop your cards and pop your spells, all of that. And I think that since every single thing has its own severe limitations, or they are basically locked behind, you need a specific magic card, Toon World in this case, to use to kind of make everything go, to be able to start your actual combo to win. And I don't know, I just think it's not a viable strategy. Maybe it's just me, maybe I'm still too much of a beginner, but I would love to have a Toon deck and take that to my locals or build a Toon deck on Master Duel and actually be able to not fucking lose so quickly. But yeah, so those are my ideas for a retrain / errata to kind of boost the Toons as an archetype. You only really need to do 3, retrain a Toon World, retrain Toon Kingdom, and you need to standardize, come up with one singular standardized effect that every single Toon will have. And again, you can have more, maybe if there's, I think, which one is it? Toon Buster Blader that lets you special summon another Toon monster or something like that. I could be wrong, but you can have that in addition to the Toon effect. We just need one standard Toon idea concept that everybody can understand and agree, and yes, I know what the rules are, and all of your Toons are going to have the same thing when it comes to the actual Toon gameplay, Toon strategy. But yeah, so that's my idea. That's just a fun little idea that I had for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please share it around. I would actually really like to see if they're probably not going to say anything, but if you get this to MBT Yu-Gi-Oh or Team APS or SEMO, they play it way better. They're pretty much the reason why I got back into Master Duel and why I got into Master Duel at all and back into Yu-Gi-Oh and everything. So I'd be interested. I mean, who knows? Let's hope Konami hears this and they actually do a retrain on Toons, because I would love to have a really good Toon deck. All right, so yeah, that was pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed my rambling. I know I kind of talked way too much, but thank you so much. You guys have a good one.